Hello, hello, and welcome to the Voices of Bandera podcast, our newest news segment. Each episode dives into ideas, experiences, and voices shaping Bandera today. So, whether you are a longtime local or just discovering this area, this is where. So, if you know someone that wishes to speak about an important event or issue in the city, please message me at veronica.rector@banderabulletin.com. We want the community involved in our podcast as much as possible, and we want to provide a platform for your voice. So today's episode, we're a little late to the game, but today's episode is dedicated to someone who is very important to the Bandera County community, and that is Jordan Tompkins. This is a podcast that we dedicated to Jordan in recognition of February 3rd's Missing Persons Day. And we're a little late because there was quite a few events that were happening in Bandera that we had to cover, but we want to now take the time to tell Jordan's story and how you can help bring justice for her family. So Jordan is and was, we don't know, a Bandera County resident who was last seen walking along Park Road 37 after enjoying a night at Medina Lake Country Club Bar and Grill on April 22nd, 2022. She was a regular at this country club, and I'll show you this country club right now. And she sang karaoke. She was known for being an all-around friendly person. And she was last seen on that road that's depicted right in front of the Medina Country Club. That's Park Road 37. So Jordan's mother, Christy, who I've gotten to know during my work at the Bulletin, recalls her last conversation with Jordan was filled with I love yous and see you soons, all that just a day before Jordan went missing. Christy remembers Jordan using funny filters to make her laugh, and she called her a silly girl. And Christy wasn't immediately worried when she didn't hear from Jordan because Jordan was really known for being independent, and she didn't really have her own cell phone. She would borrow from friends constantly because she didn't have the money for it. So initially, when Christy didn't hear from Jordan for a few days, it didn't spark any alarms. But 7 days later, a concerned resident reported Jordan missing, and the mystery began. Now, since then, conflicting accounts have been introduced. Some eyewitnesses say Jordan left the club alone. Some say she was with a male subject. It's uncertain. But the swirling rumor mill did force Sheriff Josh Teige to conduct a polygraph test on a Bandera County inmate regarding a story that Jordan had been given a hot shot. It's an injection with lethal concoctions. The inmate accused of giving Jordan the hot shot was cleared by the Bandera County Sheriff's Office June of last year. They passed a polygraph test, and the Sheriff's Office decided to clear them. I'm not going to release that inmate's name to respect their privacy. And Chief Deputy Adam Marsh reported shortly after the polygraph test that there's still a number of subjects the department is looking into. But the department has been running into the challenge because their investigation is based on having no body. And even though Christy does remain slightly hopeful that Jordan will be found alive, she understands the likelihood is small, but regardless, she wants to bring her home. So Christy is deaf. She can't communicate very well. She has a person that she communicates through, and so she feels limited in her role to investigate. So while she's been very active on like conducting walks and things like that, she feels limited into what she can do for her daughter. One thing that she has shared with me is that she just wants to hold Jordan one last time and put her to rest. And there may be a possibility for that. Now, this is only just a possibility, but the Sheriff's Department did confirm that there is a possibility that the remains found in Wharton's Dock last October might be Jordan's. There's a lot of other missing person cases around the area, so we cannot be certain. But of course, Christy remains hopeful, and they do have Christy's DNA on file to compare the remains to. So she will be the first one to know. Now, in addition to the remains being found, there are also pieces of evidence that the department could not disclose because the investigation is still active. So what I'd like to do is kind of walk y'all through portions of the investigation that are available by a public records request to see if this garners any more information on Jordan's disappearance. So first thing, we do have to acknowledge that Jordan was involved in the drug scene. She was addicted to methamphetamines and other controlled substances. She wore colorful wigs, like you can see in this picture, because like a lot of us women, she cut her hair and hated it. So she found wigs as an alternative while her hair grew out. There have been, and again, I have to stress, I'm not going to release names that are on the public records search, just because the last thing we need is for me to say something and someone say to someone like, hey, I heard you're a suspect. Bandera Bulletin told me you're a suspect, and I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm not doing that because I want to respect the sheriff's office investigation. But I will say, in the missing persons report, you can see there's documented incidents between Jordan and her boyfriend at that time that she went missing. A lot of domestic abuse, and there's including an incident where Jordan was pushed off a porch and she had visible injuries. Other sources have come forward to discuss Jordan's boyfriend, alleged controlling behavior and citing him as a reason why she didn't have her own cell phone. He really liked to keep her away from her mom. Again, this is all through sources. This is not me saying this. Now, Christy herself admits that she had issues with Jordan's boyfriend, but she wanted her daughter to make the decision for leaving to her. Those of us who have seen our friends, our loved ones in sort of an abusive relationship, you know that the moment you tell them you should pull away from that person, it just pushes them further into their arms. So she didn't want that to happen. So she kind of kept her mouth shut about it, and she was hoping that her daughter would eventually make the decision to leave this guy. Now, it's important to note also that Jordan's boyfriend at the time did have a history of his own crimes, like outside of the domestic occurrences between him and Jordan. This included thefts, assaults, trespassing, things of that nature. And he was also a drug addict as well. Now, his relationship with Jordan obviously caused him to be questioned about Jordan's disappearance. From what I have read, his alibi was that he had been fishing about that time, and that was around 3 a.m. So throughout the investigation, whatever we're able to see through the unredacted portions, Jordan's boyfriend was questioned as a suspect, but there were no shortages of theories coming from those that came close to the situation. And a few months back, we did try to meet with the boyfriend. We sent him a request on Facebook to, set up a date and time. And at first he was all for it. Oh yes, I'd love to talk about Jordan, things like that. But as soon as it came time to finalize details, he just backed out. So, and I haven't been able to get in touch with him since. So now that doesn't mean that he's guilty of anything, but I can't really say anything else because he didn't want to come forward. Some people just want their privacy respected. So now there was one interesting event that was recorded that I want to draw your attention to because it's crazy to me. There is a man that gets arrested. It's not the boyfriend, it's someone that knew Jordan. So, sorry, my computer went a little fuzzy for a second. So this person knew Jordan, and he was getting arrested for his own crime, starts having a complete meltdown, starts crying, and he says that he knows how Jordan was killed, that there is a video of it, that she was killed by a Mexican cartel person that lived in Lake Hills. He said that his cousin was in possession of the video, and just trigger warning right here. The video is allegedly of Jordan getting mutilated. So deputies obviously took him in, not just for questioning, but he was getting in trouble for something else as well. Now, I do have to note, this was not in Jordan's missing persons file. I received it through a records request I made by adding other individuals' names that I know had a close relationship with Jordan. So it's unclear if this lead was followed through, but we will be submitting a request to the sheriff's office for clarification. What we do know is that this individual who provided the lead, who according to the account of the officer, he was just uncontrollably sobbing. It was clearly an emotional moment for this individual. The records do show that the investigator of Jordan Tompkins' case at the time did not meet with this person at this when he was having his meltdown, but told deputies to let him know if he had any new information arise. It looks kind of like maybe this person met with the investigators before, that he had been working with law enforcement before. So I don't know. And again, because so many portions of the Jordan's case is redacted, I don't really know. Now we have currently a request to speak with this individual who is currently incarcerated. And obviously we'll do a follow-up after we speak to him, maybe not in a podcast, but maybe an article, just depends. Now, Jordan's disappearance sparked community concern and countless searches. I've attended some of them myself, none of which have produced her body. So it's been very stressful for Christy. Now, like I said, the DNA testing for the remains found in Wharton Docks are still in the works, but that outcome can go either way. There's so many theories on what happened to Jordan. We all know that someone or someones know the truth. And Jordan, being involved in the drug world, has fallen into a trap that so many people do when they go missing within these communities. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a theory. But after 4 years, it's time for justice for Christy and for Jordan. So I do ask that you share this video in the hopes that someone will see this and maybe they will know someone that was involved, or they will gain the courage to go to the sheriff's office because of their own involvement. Christy just wants closure for her baby girl and to put her to rest in a proper burial. So I do want to stress, contact the sheriff's office if you have any information on Jordan Tompkins' disappearance. And their phone number is 830-796-4323. I want to share one of these last photos with y'all of Jordan, and to remind this community that we will not forget about Jordan, that she was a sweet girl, and she deserves for her story to be properly told. Not just theories, not just stories, but to be heard. And I did want to share this photo as well. This is one of the many, many, many signs that Christy has made for her daughter's disappearance. And that's Deb Franz that is with her. She is the woman who translates for Christy. So please, y'all, if y'all have any relevant information to this case, if you know someone that has something to do with it or anything like that, contact the sheriff's office. Let's bring Jordan home. We will be seeing y'all soon. I don't know when our next episode is going to come out yet. Just depends on how busy our schedules are. But I hope to see y'all soon. And I do know that in one of our future episodes, we will be discussing the controversial case of Brittany McMahon. So stay tuned and we will see you next time. Bye, Bandera.